Hello, welcome to LilNatureArt. I'm Lily and today I have a sketchbook tour to share with you. I am about halfway through this Canson sketchbook, but it's 100 pages, and last time I waited to do a sketchbook tour until the end and it ended up being kind of a lot, so I'm going to break this up into a couple pieces. So today we'll go through the first 25. As I mentioned, this is a Canson sketchbook. It's for dry media, but I end up doing kind of a lot of watercolor in here as well, and it does all right, but has some crinkling of the pages, as you could expect from something holding water that's not supposed to. But otherwise, I've really enjoyed using it for the last couple of years. I've had about 170 pages probably worth of drawings on this paper, and it's worked out fine. It's 5.5 by 8.5 inches, so not super intimidating for size. All of these are my stickers except for this one, which is by Bossa Nova or Meg. She had sent them as part of a Draw This in Your Own Style a few years ago. Otherwise, this moose is in the sketchbook that we'll see today, along with this ant and I believe this crab, and then these three are from the sketchbook before. This one I've had for a long time, so these first drawings are actually from 2016, so I was still in high school then.
Wow!
And then I kind of left this book, and then I finished a couple other ones, and I didn't draw for a few years in there. But this is our cat Mila. She's a tortoiseshell, so there's a few cat pictures in here to begin with, just graphite pencil here. And then these are two more cats. These two are sisters, so this is Chief, she's my sister's cat, and this is Felix, she's my cat. She's currently not staying with me right now for the week, so otherwise I'm sure you'd be hearing her meow in the background when I'm talking. So this is when they were kittens sitting on our basement stairs. A lot of these are getting quite smudged because it's been, like I say, like 10 years now, I guess. 2026 now. Here's just a very light, not super well finished wolf picture with some, looks like winter trees and some snow. This is our Sheltie Bailey. She's now about to be 14. Yeah, so this one's dated 2017, so quite a while ago here, but still happy with how, these were and like what I was doing at the time. This one I tried to do like a really realistic drawing of a photo I'd taken out on our gravel road, because the picture was so gorgeous how the sun was coming through. I think I like how this half turned out. I don't really like how I got the effect of the sun there. And so this was actually 2019, so already skipped a couple years there. Here is some, must be oil pastel for a painted turtle swimming. Cute with it. Don't really do too much pastel, but it's kind of an experiment piece. Right here is, I believe, then where I was out of the sketchbook for quite a while. So just to kind of check the date. Yeah, so this is a 2023 drawing. So kind of sporadically drawing in between here. Finished my other sketchbook, and then this is when I transferred back to the sketchbook as my primary one. So these are colored pencils and ants. I was really exploring my Prismacolor colored pencils. These are recently still like my new pencils that I got. I was still having a lot of fun with just the fact that I could blend them, unlike my other cheaper pencils or with harder lead. So I've got a couple stickers that I have made out of these. Ooh, dropped that one on the floor. Well, I almost just tipped on everything because I forgot that I'm hooked up to a microphone. It looks like everything survived, so I just reached down to grab the sticker that fell and I took everything down with me. Alright, so here we got the little stickers, which are cute. They're a real pain for my Cricut to cut out though, so I haven't made too many of them. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this page. I kind of wanted to fill in more, but I guess then I had enough drawing ants. This is with just a couple miscellaneous art supplies I had gotten some different colored fine tips and then some brush markers. So just kind of exploring with exploring with those. I always love doing like little doodle flowers, kind of like making little hearts going up and around. And then here, just as a day with acrylic paint in here. It's very similar looking frogs. This is a quick sketch I did of my betta fish Fenton. This was still 2023. He was probably about a year old here. He is past now that it's right 5 years later, but he was such a sweet little gentleman boy. So for this drawing, I just started with fine liner. I was just trying to do like a nice sketch to begin with, and then I went over with watercolor to fill it in. I had a lot of fun and was happy with how this turned out. Not that, you know, he looks, I don't know, like a very nondescript something with eye, you know. I don't know. I could have done Fenton a little bit better, but just like for the fun of this, I had a lot of fun with how his little castle hide turned out. Yeah, it was something just loose and fun, and with some color that I went back for. So this one is a good one too. You can see a lot of the texture from the watercolor, but it's doing its own pretty well. Here's more with the brush marker pens, just kind of seeing the different colors. I drew this turkey a couple different times because I think I had him in my watercolor book. So went and got my other sketchbooks because I was first wanting to put him in my watercolor sketchbook. I got this book from a sidewalk sale at my university for undergrad, and it's fun because, you know, it was actual watercolor paper. So I wanted to keep it for more kind of finished pieces in this. So I wanted to make this turkey with watercolor. So first I had done out kind of how I wanted to design him. So I kind of started a little more realistic and then came up with a pattern that I liked. And then this is from my previous sketchbook. You know, I also tested him out in colored pencil. So like I was pretty familiar with his shape. So like when I was just here doodling too, he not a huge surprise that he came out here. And then, oh yeah, so here's the crab too from the front of this. So this page was actually, I was kind of cruising around Pinterest looking for references to draw, and then also on my Pinterest feed I get a lot of crochet patterns. So one of these, probably the octopus, I would guess, I saw something, you know, that looked kind of like, oh, like drawing animals as crochet patterns would be kind of an easy way to stylize them, make them, you know, like more cute. So I kind of did that with a couple different sea creatures, and I was really, really happy with how these all turned out here. So I like this page and the bright colors, and again with the Prismacolors for how nicely blendable they are. Just like another classic, just pencil sketch for some wildlife, a couple giraffes. I do this a lot. I kind of like start something and like, oh, I want to do giraffes. Don't get time to finish the page. So then, but next time I come back, I want to work on something else. So I'm like, oh, I'll come back to that, and then I don't always. So this is the beginning of a couple moose drawings. These were like multiple different sittings. I study moose, or I was studying moose for my master's, so I kind of had a little bit of a moose phase here. And these two I have some stickers up. So I have stickers. That just goes to show how old a lot of these sketches are, because I've already digitized them and I've been selling a lot of them as prints for quite a while by the time I'm getting this. So here's kind of the trio of ones that I picked out to have. Yeah, just kind of fun. I like the most, I think, how the blue one turned out. And again, just kind of having fun with the Prismacolors and doing some form drawings. And so I started a moose count because I was also like keeping track of how many moose I saw doing field work, so I thought it would be kind of funny to have a correlated one in my sketchbook. And on this page, I have a video of when I'm drawing the balsam fir. Just another moose sketch from, I think I had a book out for the life history from the library. I was just kind of flipping through and started with more kind of fun colors for the sketch and left some of them in there. And then with the tree, I have a hard time not getting greenery or trees to be too bright. just like getting them not be just completely rich. I feel like I kind of got halfway there, but right, most of this is what I'm happy about is where it's the dark green, which I still haven't completely got the blending for making a little bit more muted, realistic green. But I like the depth in here, so I'm happy with the page, but yeah. Still on a quest for finding out a good green color for greenery. And then another moose here. This one is one of my favorite stickers, I think. He turned out really well, and I'm kind of in the process of switching my logo over to this instead of one of my giraffe watercolors. And another page I didn't really come back for, but for a dark brown moose though, I tried to put a lot of colors in there, and I had a lot of fun drawing him. And here's the all-star, as usual, my cat Felix. I draw her all of the time. So she's a calico cat, real cute, just with her collar on. I feel like for how much I've drawn cats, I should be better at kind of understanding their proportions some. So I was kind of trying to look at that a few times because I was trying to sketch her in my yard with my kind of more like travel sketchbook, and trying to do just a quick sketch. The face proportions were always pretty rough, so I kind of wanted to spend a little time there. So I'm getting better at it slowly. And then also one thing I was working on was trying to ID birds by song, but then also by just like visual characteristics. So these were a couple that fairly common, but they were ones that I was actually getting confident with IDing from their song or just seeing them. So I was kind of like keeping this, adding to this, or as I was getting better at IDing them. Okay, so this is like fall 2023 probably, I assume. Did we have dates on any of these? Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh boy, yeah. So this is like late winter, early spring 2023. Somewhere in here we jump up to, so drawing a lot in March of 2023. So the draft switched to fall 2023. So this must be kind of winter 2023, early spring 2024. And then now this is summer 2024. Because I wasn't drawing much in there either. I was doing a lot of field work in school, but I thought I was being more consistent than that. So this was like summer 2024 then. And then I have a couple fish tanks. I keep a lot of cory catfish. So I have the false Julies or leopard cories, but then also the pet store gave me the wrong species. So they gave me one pepper when my sister was picking up supposedly 4 Julies for me, and she's like, well, this one looks like completely different. I don't know anything about fish, but like I'm pretty sure this is a different species. And they're like, no, they're just small, talking down to her. So she just left. And then yeah, she gave them to me, and I was like, yeah, no, that one's different. So then now I have schools for both the Julies and the peppers. For being really similar species, they're really different. This is Fenton, who we saw in the watercolor. These are the Julies, so they're like kind of like more chubby, round little guys. And this is the pepper that they gave me. Funny enough, I'm actually quarantining fish right now because I'm kind of rebuilding the school after I've now lost some that were about 5 years old. Like my oldest ones from undergrad have passed now. You can see kind of like the difference though, like a lot more angles in the peppers, and then a couple of my aquatic plants. So just drawing kind of like as they're swimming around. Yeah, here's one of my plants. I still have him, he just doesn't look that happy. This one I have in a different notebook that I did like with marker, but a moth that I saw during field work, but then I didn't really finish this. Here's one of my aquascapes. So this was in my betta fish tank at the time. A lot of my driftwood. My plants were doing really well. Moss ball, little cave. I kind of had the intention of coming back to put like watercolor over this to give it some color, but once again, I guess I never did. Here's a more focused one of just one pepper that I didn't fill a page out for. This is probably the page I'm the most proud of out of all of my sketchbooks. So my default drawing tendency is to draw pretty realistically. Like I love capturing the details, and like as a scientist too, I think I like to capture all of the data that I can to present them like they look in real life. When I'm doing that, I tend to, I kind of tense up more, and it's less flowing, and it's more of like a study and like quite meticulous. And no matter kind of how I start, like unless I'm kind of consciously engaging myself in like a looser flow, I default back to that. So this was time I was like kind of trying to, once again, more consciously pull myself out of that. So I had some videos from otters from my game camera, and so I started. This is already my first attempt at kind of making it cute, which is still, quite realistic. So then I use this one as my reference to draw this one cuter again, or like by cute, I just kind of mean more stylized, or just less realistic. And I was really happy with how this turned out. And too, when at my art fairs too, this is probably like my best selling sticker too. So like I think I probably achieved, you know, something along my goals. I had so much fun with this too, doing like just the more simplified drawing, and then the watercolor I just have so much fun putting on because it makes, bringing that little bit of color in just makes everything look so nice with not a lot of effort. And then here was just some sketching while I was watching the videos because they were out. It was like late spring, so there was still ice out on the lake, but they had like their holes for feeding, so they're coming up and like eating frogs and fish and sliding around on the ice and slush and just, you know, being little otters. So I had a lot of fun watching those videos and kind of doing some studies from them, and especially special being that they're, you know, otters that were living around our house, which made it just that much more fun. And then while I was drawing, you know, semi-aquatic mammals, I figured I should also put in a couple beavers. So just a couple of them here as well, not super finished. And so that's kind of where I plan to stop for today. Just keep this video a little short, and then I have some more drawings done, but I'll make another video for those soon. In the meantime, I hope you have a good day, and thanks for joining me. If you want to see more, please subscribe or like this video. Keep your eye out for more. Thanks.